vortex back down, down, down to the surface. It won't be anything sudden, just like a leaf drifting gently out of a tree, back down to the surface. And as you come down to the surface, I want you to tell me the very first thing you see down there below you, or the very first impression that you have as you land back down there below you. And what do you see down there below you?
I'm standing on the floor with. I have a chair in front of me, and I see a big table.
So you see, is this a, you see a big boardroom table like that, and you have a chair that's for you then?
Yes,
Ah, very good. And if you look around the table, who else do you see there? Is there anyone else sitting in, already sitting, or?
they're coming in now.
Ah, very good. And as you see them coming in, what do they look like?
Seems like they're from different races, different places. Some of them I recognize.
Ah, very good.
First come four females, very tall, beautiful female.
How tall are you?
9, 10 feet.
And are they taller than you, or are you all the same height?
No, they're a little bit taller than me.
Ah, very good. And I want you to look at yourself. Look at what you're wearing. Look at how your whole.
Now I have a white robe, almost. It's shining, very bright light.
Oh, beautiful. And what about your structure? What is your body like? Your hands, your head, your face.
Very thin body and, well, very slender arms and hands. And I can't really see my feet. They are embedded in the light that surrounds me.
Oh, very good. And the you say four women were approaching, or female entities were approaching first?
Yeah, they come in first, and now they're coming more. There's these three men. Well, there's four men. Four men come in also of the women.
So four men and four females, and then you, that makes a nine. Is this a
Yes.
council of nine?
I don't know.
Very good. And the women that came through first, where did they go? Where did they sit at the table, or did they acknowledge you?
They nodded at me and smiled. Yes, so they greeted me.
Oh, very good.
It seems like they are some kind of leaders from their places,
Oh, very good.
chosen to be in this, like a board meeting or something.
And do they know why you're there?
Yeah, I'm a member of that place.
Oh, very good. And what is the reason for this gathering? Do they know why you've come?
I asked one of the ladies, and she said it's just another gathering for look at the what did she say? She talked inside my head.
Oh, what is she saying?
She's saying something like, we're gathering again for surveilling purposes, to giving orders, no, giving directions for the light beings,
Oh, very good.
light workers.
Excellent. And you are a part of this group, and so,
Yes,
and they're going to pass this information on to you that we can then pass on to everyone else then?
yeah, they're giving me some kind of, it's almost like some kind of iPad or something like that, but no framing, just a glass surface.
Very good.
And we have things to discuss.
Excellent.
And also be able to ask questions and get some answers.
Very good. Well, first, we'd like to let them go ahead with their agenda first. And if you could relay all the information that's being relayed to you, we would be very appreciative. And we're very thankful for their audience.
They're talking about some increasing of work being done on several planets in our galaxy.
What?
I asked what galaxy, and she said Milky Way. You call it Milky Way.
Okay.
So there are
What
some
type?
increasing energy fields. Our planet is going through increasing energy fields now, and so is several other planets also. All is in a state of raising their consciousness. All is going into a higher frequency, and they have to monitoring this process going on, because if some places having too much of it, there can be chaos breaking out, and that's not allowed to happen. And we have to monitor it very closely, very thorough, for
So
that not to happen.
when you come to these meetings, do you come to these meetings often in your astral body or in your light body?
On and off, yes. I don't get the timeline.
Okay.
It feels like I have been here many times.
And what is your particular contribution to these efforts?
I'm there to gather knowledge to spread amongst people on the planet.
So you're doing work here on the Earth and on those other planets as well?
Yes. I have many different tasks. I'm doing many different boards, many different
Councils and communities?
council. Yeah, she said community.
Oh, very good. And am I involved with these as well?
Absolutely.
Do they know what we're doing now here? What you're doing?
They know everything about me.
Okay. And what other information are they relaying about the process of this particular meeting or this particular group?
one of the ladies said you had questions for us. So
Yes.
I said yes. We have questioned what's going on now. She thinks it's important that we are asking those questions because it's the right time for that to be
Relinquished.
she said.
Oh, very good. Well, we were wondering, there's a huge vibrational shift that seems to be taking place on the planet right now. And how is it uh, there seems to be an opposition that's doing everything that they can to avoid what seems inevitable? Um, how is it that that opposition seems to have so much power, or is that just an illusion?
It's a little bit of both because they have the power to deceive or spreading lies about what's going on, and they're struggling to hold on to that old ideas of them, but they are not going to be here for so long. All that lower vibration is fading out. They're fading out because there is not possible for them to stay on this planet when it races to another dimension because it's not compatible with that frequency.
There's a huge program going on right now with such disinformation about particular type of extraterrestrials that we've been told before that have been totally exported off of the planet, and certain technologies that they're using against us. I just keep wondering, are these all lies, or why are they able to use uh,
It's
that?
not directly a lie, but it's also disinformation because they are saying that they are doing this and they're doing that, but they're not really doing it. It's just to spread fear. Because if you can control anyone, it's just you can do it by fear. If you frighten people, they will just hide and will not do the thing they are supposed to do.
Yes, I was concerned with that myself. Uh,
Yes.
Excuse me one moment. I'm going to take a quick break here, okay? And Lars, I want you to continue to uh, communicate. Excuse me.
Yes. Okay. Yes.
One more.
Yes. Yeah. Hello.
Sorry about that.
You no problem.
What were you receiving?
We were talking about. I'm a little fascinated with how we talk because everybody talks at the same time, but it's so clear where it come from and what message come from who. It's strange, but also familiar in a way. We all communicate telepathically.
Am I in that group there? Any aspect of myself there?
Yes, you're there.
As a male or a female?
You're here like as a male.
Oh, okay.
You're a very old, wise entity.
Wrinkly?
Not wrinkly, but very. You have a very high level of knowledge and holding high vibration of love.
And before we get back to questions just in terms of the description of, you say these are 10 feet tall beings, and are they just energetic beings, or do they have some type of physical?
They have a physical appearance, but at the same time they can be everywhere in an instant. So I really don't understand how they do that.
Okay. And would you say what, 12th or 11th dimensional, this particular group here?
She say higher,
Oh,
higher. Ask what?
how high?
13. She said 13. 13.
Oh, very good.
And I asked her, where is this place? And we are on a physical celestial body in our galaxy, but not on our planet, on another planet.
And we just condensed our vibration to be able to, for you to have a reference point.
Yes,
Oh, very good.
it's easy to communicate whatever we need to bring forth.
So the more and more you have these sessions, the easier and easier it is for you to go higher and higher.
She said, you know you can go whenever you desire to be.
So as we have these meetings going on, it's really hard to judge. What do you think? Linearly, um, this process from that
It is
perspective.
very hard to do that because that perspective of time does not exist in the real. We think of time as a linear, but time is not linear. Time is the future, the past, and everything between.
Here and now.
Yeah.
Understood.
So, but we know that your people in that density you are now want to have answer linearly, and we would try to do that as best as we can.
We understand. There's just so much torture actually going on. There's so much pain. How long is that gonna be able to, that be able to last? Are we still collectively choosing that, and that's why we still keep experiencing it?
Some community on the planet is struggling because they have so many issues they have to get rid of and clear out before they are able to descend in any way, because this they have different diseases going on in different areas, and we're helping with that to clear that out. But there is also many that struggling to take this to heart, and there is so many that need to work with the fear of what's going on, because they think they are separated from everything. They first of all need to understand that every living entity is connected, but they're struggling with that because they feel so separated and they feel so lonely. So they think they are almost fighting for their surviving, but it's not true, because everyone has the possibility to decide if they want to leave this fear behind. But it's still a big issue among you in many different areas, but it's lightening up. Even the different governments on the planet is starting to think in a different way, starting to think in the term of we instead of us, and loosening up many knots that been tied just to hide so much information from the masses. But they now started to lighting up in their hearts. More and more information is going to be revealed, and some very important messages is going to be revealed very soon for you. And we say soon, we're talking about a year in your time.
Yeah. I just keep, today I was listening to Barbara Marciniak. She's always saying that she speaks for the Palladians. And she goes, oh, you guys are going to be in this turmoil for another 10 years. And, just the thought of that makes me want to cut my wrist.
That's not possible because all that energy that's going to try to hold it back is just fear, and we're clearing that out now. You're going through so much energy, so strong energy fields, and you're beamed by so much love and frequency of high vibration that it's not possible for them to even stay in that because they are fading away, and some of them will just die,
Understood.
and
Under-
that's their way to get away from what's happening, and they choose that. We are not killing anyone; they're doing it themselves.
and then basically, even after they pass, I mean, they're eternal and they're also divine sparks of the one. So
Of
they,
course, they are. Everyone is, and they are going to keep on. Maybe they stay in that state for a while to adjust and see what they were struggling to keep, why they were struggling to keep that low density. And as soon they realize they will just have the opportunity to relocate wherever they want to be.
oh, very good. It's this process of being able to, uh, the process of duality or the illusion of separation, how it was collectively decided by all of us. Is that correct?
Not exactly all of you, but many. You have been deceived by that type of energy that wanted to create power around themselves. And many of them were in a leading position in governments and even by military, different military area. And now that is changing. They did a lot of bad things with you many, many years, and that's not happening anymore. They're trying to keep some small fraction of this going on, but it's just also fading away because it's so obvious for many of you now what has happened and what is going on. So they are not going to be able to hide it for the masses anymore. It will be so obvious what they are doing. So they just have to stop it.
Oh, very good. So this energy that we're going through, what 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 will you, what will it look like? What will we look like on the other side of this? Will we need technology? And I may have asked this before, but since we're at such a higher dimension than we were when I asked the last time, I think maybe a better answer could come forward. And I ask again, what will it look like? What will we look like on the other side of this vibrational shift? Because are we shifting vibrationally higher?
Yes, you do, and all the planet also.
And
So the planet is expanding also in size. So there can be a lot of activity by the tectonic plates and as you say, natural catastrophe. But we will protect the people.
in order to protect the people, there will have to be dense or entities, extraterrestrials or extra dimensionals, who can actually physically manifest here on this planet in order to help.
They are already there, but we can also see that things don't happen too sudden and too explosive. We will see that it will go gradually. We will see to that.
That's what it keeps floating in my mind and out of my mind as I listen to you speak. Um, in terms of, I know that there are, you say, physical entities that are here on the planet that are actually helping us. I mean, and I'm talking in terms of extraterrestrials that are here behind the scenes helping.
They are, but they also are there in different frequency that you will not be able to see with your human eyes. You can perceive them in the area around you by they affecting you with their energy in different area and different levels, because sometimes you can feel like a pressure around you, or you can feel just the opposite. You feel that you're expanding, and so you can perceive them in that way. But many of them doing this work from a different frequency just to be able to do that as freely as possible, because there always is this fight going on that that kind of people that want to spread the fear to control is still in action. But so they don't need to work against them also, because there are others doing that now. They are there to help you with this transition to this energy, enormous energy field you're going through now.
Understood.
But they can't work in the open. Some of them do, but it's difficult to work in the open because the knowledge and the insight is not that great yet in many areas on your planet.
When I'm making these videos, at a couple weeks ago, or maybe a month or so, I know there's no such thing as time, but there was a light that flashed across the young man's nose, and it came forward and it shot back, and he said he went through a light. What was that? That flash of light? You know, why was the camera able to pick that up? Please, young man in
That
Boston.
was there to show for him that his doubt is not necessary, and the energy were there to boost his confidence and to help him work with his fears.
Ah, very good. And then I was doing another video, and it looked like a thumb that sort of came in while I was reciting a poem, like it gave me a thumbs up. That Lars there actually pointed out to me because I didn't see it. What was that uh, energy?
Just a confirmation that you're on the right path.
It looked like there was, I saw when I was trying to capture that, there was a little tiny blue orb that manifested and disappeared really quickly right before it. And I can't believe I saw it, but I did absolutely see it. What was that?
Your higher self.
Very good. And then there was that one energetic being that came up. It looked like lightning, and then it made a 90-degree turn and went across the state, went across the screen. What was that particular? Are those? Please.
It can be the helpers you perceive in that way, and they're moving around very quickly. So they can be just like flashes. They're not bounded by any physical laws. They can be wherever they want to be in the blinking of an eye. So I think maybe that was a confirmation that something is going on the energy level.
Very good. And to me, when I see those, I think, and because I'm posting these videos, um, that they're confirmation for other people who are watching to give, I guess, myself and Lars some credentials or what have you for.
Yes, that's also a boost for you to carry on doing this work you're doing. We are aware of that sometimes it's not so easy to do this because there are always going to be people that say you are doing something wrong and you're doing it in the wrong way and for the wrong purpose. But we try to boost you in that way we can, that you can perceive, and that's why you are seeing these things. That's why Lars did pick up that uh, energy in your monitor. It's just to boost your confidence that you are doing right, and also to for others to see that yes, there is something going on. Even for those who are the most skeptical, will now come to a realization that yes, there really is something happening.
Does it seem like that I'm holding a lot of fear in terms of my mistrust of everyone's motives around me?
That is your mind that is a part of you, so it's just an aspect of yourself, nothing to worry about, because they are going to correct you whenever you're stepping out of line.
Well, I keep going forward and keep doing this, so I haven't
Yes, and
stopped.
that's a good thing, and you should do that. And we will be there for you, and you are there for many. You have certainly realized that you have affected a lot of people around you, and that's a good thing.
I believe I have.
Even those that say sometimes that we don't believe in this, you're giving them anyway a message that start up a process in them which is not able to neglect and ignore because it's going on even if they're thinking of it or not. So they are changing
The
in
seed,
another way but still changing.
I say the seed has been planted, huh?
Definitely,
And
yes.
it's slowly growing within their consciousness. Well, that's
Definitely.
definitely my intention, and Lars as well, obviously. Um,
That is your work you decided to do, plant seed. Sometimes almost literally plant seeds.
Absolutely. I don't know. I don't know. This is like the best time to. I really needed to have this session today, and I believe Lars needed to have this session as well, because as many.
You both have had a lot of things happening around you, so we get here now to help you to go through that, some kind of hardship you went through, but it's turning around now. Believe us, it's turning around.
Oh, very good. And my stepfather just died, and my best friend's father died, and of course, it was just their physical bodies that passed. We understand that, so I'm sure they, well, in my eyes, they're in a much better place than because they were quite old though too. So and they were suffering.
And they decided to go on with another, in another level, in another frequency.
Excellent. Very good.
There is no sorrow down there. Of course, you can feel lost, but that's just because of your the attachment and the feeling of being alone. But if you realize that you are still in almost a higher level connected with them you lost as a physical entity, then you will have no need for that sorrow or that grieving.
Well, I didn't grieve much.
No, because you're still in contact with them.
That's what I was thinking. A matter of fact, with all of them, I did a session with Lars, and it was actually very successful when my grandfather came with his uh, Granny Apple, and my grandmother and the dogs all came forward. And then I did a session with them the other day, which I think was really horrible. Why is it not so easy for me to relinquish and relax and just let it go the way he does? May I ask?
You have to realize you have doing this type of communication for so many years also, and have been used to raising in frequency because that's the way he chose to work, and you have not been in that state so many times because you are so busy in giving, and you are not. You just have to sometimes relax and give you the time. It will be so fine for you.
Uh, I'm optimistic for sure. I know I'm able to hear it whenever I'm writing my poems, but I'm still looking for that experience that he has. Like now, being in that room with all of you.
And you are here.
We're a ninth collective, a collective of nine in the 13th dimension. That's pretty awesome.
Yes. And I'm sure that you're feeling the vibration
I feel good now.
right now.
Do
And
I?
that you feel that your heart is lighter.
Oh, yes. I definitely so. Before, there were so many things that were going on in my mind, and you know how I like to write everything out. And so I wrote the one piece, and then I was like, man, it's good. I like what I said in it, but at the same time, I felt like I shouldn't put it out there because it was sort of semi based in fear. And then I wrote the second one. I don't know, it just felt much better. So,
You see, you have the knowledge.
yeah.
And you have the right intention in your heart. That is the most important. And you will be for the ride in your life. You will never thought you ever will see coming, but it will come. There will be a ride for you also.
There'll be a what for me?
A ride,
All right.
experience
Oh, okay.
that is coming for you also.
I can't wait. I'm very excited, and patient. I just feel better. I'm so happy to have this conversation, this communication today. I'm so appreciative.
If you, I'm saying this to all of you listening,
Very good.
that if you keep any thought that's just going on in your mind over and over and over again, and you're not really trying to find the answer, you're just stuck in that thought pattern. You have to stop doing that and do something totally different for a while, because you're also setting a stop for the the energy to flow when you're stuck in that thought pattern, because it's just like an old record playing the same track over and over again, and you will not change anything. You have to let go of that and do something totally different. Maybe go to the ocean, maybe go into the forest, maybe come closer to nature. Well, that's something we all need to do much more than we have done in the past. And not every one of us need to do that. Come closer to nature. Go out and be in awe of what's going on in nature.
Totally understood. That was one really positive thing that Barbara Marciniak said earlier as I was listening to her. And then, just to be fair on her account, she did say just because we're saying this or we're feeling this doesn't mean that it's going to actually happen as such. So
Every time you have that thought in you, you don't need to rush off. Because when you have that thought, it's open up your heart for that frequency to reach into you, into your whole entity, into your whole spirit. It's reaching into you when you open your heart in that way, and you're thinking in uh, positive ways of. You can sit in your kitchen and look out and just look at the tree and be in awe of how everything is connected, everything is living, and then the frequency just raise up automatically for you.
cool. I appreciate that. I know I don't live that far from the ocean, and I have a brand new car, and I have a lot of time on my hand. I feel really blessed for all of those things, but I think I am going to start driving down to the ocean more often, and also getting out into the forest a little bit more often as well.
Were you sure that you acknowledge that when it's time for that to happen?
Excellent. So, while we're here, do you have anything else that you would like to share with those who are listening in terms about what's this energetic shift that's taking place on the planet?
We are aware of that many of you are talking about technical development, and that's also is happening, but you have also already a lot of knowledge of them, and you will now be able to access them in a different way that you were able before. Some knowledge is going to bring forth for you in very short future, and some knowledge is coming from in your society, from your scientists, and from different group working in this, and it's going to bring forward for you soon. But there's still a lot of things that needs to be cleansed out. There's still of things going on that's it's not compatible with this thing, this different technology that we want to present for you.
You say
So
our our vibrations aren't compatible with this technology yet?
many of your vibration is compatible, but the attention from many of you is not compatible with that.
Okay.
It can be used in the good of all, but it can also be used in
To the
an awful way.
okay.
So when you are ready for it, it will be revealed for you, and many of you are aware of them because you are involved in that work.
So as many people are sending out a strong intent, people who are light workers, people who pay attention to these particular type of videos, people who get this information, if they were individually, they don't have to go and tell every single person that they meet or whatever. Of course, they're going to plant their seeds or whatever within reason of not being rejected by their friends and family. But they could hold the unconditional love in their heart, which helps, does it not, with the collective?
You did just now planted that seed, so yes.
Oh, very good. I like to do that. uh, I absolutely do at all. And
Just to acknowledge the work that they're doing, it's more than enough for them to keep doing what they do. And acknowledge the work they are doing is just to send them a thought of positive energy and tell them that you love them.
Very good. And how much energy should we put toward these financial revaluations or these political agendas of these politicians?
It's going to be taken care of, so you don't need to put that much energy into that because it's sorting itself out because so much is now out in the open that's going on that you can see in your own country that so many young people waking up now to a different reality to see what's going on in your government and there is an election going on in your country and so many wrongdoing has been exposed and it will keep on being exposed in a more higher rate than now. So it's going to take care of itself because the right vibration is coming in there.
Excellent. Excellent. Is there anything else that this council would like to share with the...
We want to acknowledge for you that and make you aware of that you have the power of healing inside you. And you can do that for your friends, for your close, for your family, or for anybody. You can give that healing to them. It's just to have the right state of mind when you're giving the positive energy and you can heal so many of your diseases you're carrying around and this unalignment of your entity or your body. We want to make you aware of this power you have and you always have carried it with you. Some of you work in that area but they think, hey, I need to go to someone to do this. But you have it yourself and your neighbor has it. You just have to feel that these people around me deserve this and let go of all hatred and all jealousy and it will be so much more nicer for you all.
Oh, very good. Thank you very much for that. We appreciate that tremendously. And how is Lars's body doing?
He's okay. He's getting used to it.
Oh, very good. And is there anyone else? Are you speaking for everyone there in the group? Or is there a voice in there that we haven't heard yet that would like to make a presentation?
I'm speaking for the voice of all.
Oh, thank you very much.
We all contribute to this.
Oh, very good. 13th dimension, that's pretty high. That's, well, normally we've been connecting with the 11th dimension. Is this, Lars, can you tell this is an entirely different group then?
No, you're going through the dimension as you wish.
Oh, okay. Very good.
When you reach above the fifth, sixth dimension, you can travel freely through all the other dimensions, but you will experience different things out of your own experience from the past. There's so much out there that you're still not aware of, but it's coming.
Very good.
And even we in this council don't have all the answers.
Understood. Here's a question that I have to ask. How does the councils and these high vibrational entities that are watching us as we do our thing down here, how does it help you? How does it help our higher selves as we focus down here on this planet?
is help us to hold this higher vibration, is help us to spread the vibration. So everything you do, everything you think, every action you take in any possible way is having an impact of everything else. So when you're doing this work, you're clearing up. You can say it's like clearing up a room full of smoke. You open a window and in comes fresh air. So when you do this work, it's resonates through all the universe in many different levels, of course, but it's always making thing good thing stronger.
Oh, very good. So, is there anyone else in this particular group that is in Lars or my inner circle here on the earth that we don't recognize?
Yes,
Who else is there?
there are entities in this group now that are coming from two other universes that are here to surveillance what's going on because they have already done this in their realm, in their frequency.
Okay, and so they've just come in. They know that Lars and I come together like this and do these sessions, and they get a first-hand view or a first-hand feeling of how we're doing down here. Or
Yes, almost like they are interns. They are here to observe, but they are also here to share their knowledge and their experience with us. And they're doing that right now through you, both of you. So this is also coming from them.
oh, very good. Well, we appreciate everyone in that space and anyone who would come forward with a loving message that would help humanity through this process that we're going through. We thank you for supporting us, and we try our best to stay on the right path. And we know all roads lead to Source, and that there's only one. But we do appreciate our individuality, so to speak, and we will.
Try to remember that you are not detached from each other. Try to remember that we are all here together. All races, all species, all of you. We are in this together. You are never, no, they're a little bit taller than me.
Oh, very good. And I want you to look at yourself. Look at what you're wearing. Look at how your whole.
Now I have a white robe, almost. It's shining, very bright light.
Oh, beautiful. And what about your structure? What is your body like? Your hands, your head, your face.
Very thin body and, well, very slender arms and hands. And I can't really see my feet. They are embedded in the light that surrounds me.
Oh, very good. And the you say four women were approaching, or female entities were approaching first?
Yeah, they come in first, and now they're coming more. There's three men. No, that's four men. Four men come in also of the women.
So four men and four females, and then you, that makes a nine. Is
Yes,
this a council of nine?
I don't know.
Very good. And the women that that came through first, where did they go? Where did they sit at the table, or did they acknowledge?
Some increasing energy fields. Our planet is going through increasing energy fields now, and so is several other planets also. All is in a state of raising their consciousness. All is going into a higher frequency, and they have to monitoring this process going on, because if some places having too much of it, there can be chaos breaking out, and that's not allowed to happen. And we have to monitor it very closely, very thorough, for
So,
that not to happen.
when you come to these meetings, do you come to these meetings often in your astral body or in your light body?
On and off, yes. I don't get the timeline.
Okay.
It feels like I have been here many times.
And what is your particular contribution to these efforts?
I'm there to gather knowledge to spread amongst.
So,
Yes.
and they're going to pass this information on to you that we can then pass on to everyone else then?
Yeah, they're giving me some kind of. It's almost like some kind of iPad or something like that, but no framing, as a glass surface.
Very good.
And we have things to discuss,
Excellent.
and also be able to ask questions and get some answers.
Very good. Well, first, we'd like to let them go ahead with their agenda first. And if you could relay all the information that's being relayed to you, we would be very appreciative. And we're very thankful for their audience.
They're talking about some increasing of work being done on several planets in our galaxy.
What?
I asked what galaxy, and she said Milky Way. You call it Milky Way.
Okay.
So there are
What
some
type?
increasing.
Vortex back down, down, down to the surface. It won't be anything sudden, just like a leaf drifting gently out of a tree, back down to the surface. And as you come down to the surface, I want you to tell me the very first thing you see down there below you, or the very first impression that you have as you land back down there below you. And what do you see down there below you?
I'm standing on the floor with. I have a chair in front of me, and I see a big table.
So you see, you see a big boardroom table like that, and you have a chair that's for you then?
Yes.
Ah, very good. And if you look around the table, who else do you see there? Is there anyone else sitting already sitting, or?
They're coming in now.
Ah, very good. And as you see them coming in, what do they look like?
Seems like they're from different races, different places. Some of them I recognize.
Oh, very good.
First come 4 females. Very tall, beautiful female.
How tall are you?
9, 10 feet.
And are they taller than you, or are you all the same height? Don't you?
They nodded at me and smiled, yes, so they greeted me.
Oh, very good.
It seems like they are some kind of leaders from their places.
Oh, very good.
Chosen to be in this, like a board meeting or something.
And do they know why you're there?
Yeah, I'm a member of that place.
Oh, very good. And what is the reason for this gathering? Do they know why you've come?
I asked one of the ladies, and she said it's just another gathering for look at the what did she say? She talked inside my head.
Oh, what is she saying?
She's saying something like we're gathering again for surveilling purposes to giving orders, giving directions for the light beings,
Oh, very good.
light workers.
Excellent. And you are a part of this group, and